Well, welcome to the 2016 version of mud season. I'm not sure if it's peaked yet, but I thought I'd give you a glimpse of what the road is like. It's about 2 miles out of here on the lake up to the tarred road. We've had a couple of days of nice sunshine at over 60 degrees, and that's helped a lot, but very bad near the top of the road, which we'll be to here in a few minutes. But this is the quarry road here, and as you can see, this sits in the sun for the greater part of the day, and it's beginning to dry out quite nicely. I would suspect by this weekend all we'll have are some ridges and potholes. But my neighbor has what's called a box rake. He's got a huge stone on top of it, and once the road is in the right condition moisture-wise, he'll come out and drag that box rake across the road. That smooths it out until we actually get a grader man here to grade the road, which typically doesn't happen until the end of May, early June. There's my neighbor Doug out for a walk. We've been lucky we haven't received a whole lot of rain, which would have made this even worse. There's still a lot of frost in the ground, and so you get into these areas where you're driving in mud, you know, just almost slurry of silt, and the ground's frozen underneath. So just imagine driving on a skating rink that has had Vaseline applied to the surface. It gets really squirrely. You can see it here. It's how wet and slushy and muddy it is. It's because we're in a tree stand that shades the road, and this piece of the road doesn't get a whole lot of sun, so we had a tree come down on this road yesterday. It stranded one of my neighbors, but we were able to get her going in about a half hour. Stuff happens occasionally down here. And if you don't have an all-wheel drive, or if you don't have a four-wheel drive, it's best that you just park that vehicle for a couple of weeks. As you can see here, it starts to get worse. It takes us about 3 times as long to get up out of here, out of the lake. Great if you like making mud pies, but as a practical matter, it's a pain in the ass. But for all of us that live on the lake, this is a price we would gladly pay every year for where we live. Comes with the territory. Yeah, if you don't have a all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and you're not high up off the ground, you can get yourself in trouble on this road. Sections like that. I expect that section we just came through to actually go downhill and deteriorate even more before it gets better. But if we can keep this nice stretch of weather going here, this road will be a whole lot different just 5 to 7 days from now. We're almost up out of here. worst is yet to come, believe me. Matter of fact, I ended up taking my wife to school to work this morning. She's a teacher. I ended up taking her because she has an all-wheel drive car, but she almost got stuck coming in last night up here. When we get around the corner at the top of this little hill here, you'll see what I'm talking about. This last section here, it's about 1,600 feet between here and the tarred road, and as you can see, it's not exactly I-95. You see over in here, that's probably down 1.5 feet, that rut right there that we just went by on the right. Yeah, this is the kind of driving that if you got passengers with you, you tell them to grab the oh shit bar and hang on. Yellow. Now the good thing is there's not as much water running today as, God, look at that. Yeah, this is where you can do a job on an oil pan or whatever. I actually had to take my Jeep into the shop the other day and have them pull the tires and take all the dirt, sand, and small rocks that got into my brake mechanism. Well, that's it, folks. Mud season in Maine. Later.